Ayo, it's been a bit and a half. A lot's really been going on. But first off, I want to apologize for a lot, including being gone for a chunk of time. And for a lot of the things I used to say on the previous videos, a lot of the pretty much every single live is taken down, if not all of them, because, well, one, I was saying a lot of heresies on there that I didn't realize were heresies at the time. That was my bad. I need forgiveness on that. And then the other one would be I don't like watching my own videos. It's really uncomfortable watching myself, and I feel like I had to like go back to verify certain things or to make sure it wasn't like bad or whatever, or like this is totally wrong because a lot of stuff I was saying was pretty wrong. So instead of kind of torturing myself, watching myself, it feels weird. Even doing this, I'm kind of wigged out. I'm gonna like cover my face. Much better. Then yeah, it was just easier to take them all off. And then I was eventually going to go through them, and then like a year has passed, and that hasn't happened. A lot has happened in the meantime, including my bad. It was not meant for you guys' face. I got married. It was huge. I was not expecting it at all. I actually went to church, not expecting this man at all. It was amazing. And I got a potential job doing henna. So I've been focusing on that. That's what we're going to be focusing on tonight. And just moving out of my parents' house, and then not being the wisest with money, and then having to move back in with the parents. And so it's a big blessing. Hey, Push and Snowflake, how you doing? It's good to see you. That's so cool that you guys are here too. I was like, oh, like it's just cool to be able to be back. So we're gonna be doing some. I covered my face, now I can't see it, but hopefully this is in screen. Gonna be trying out some henna because by Saturday I gotta watch the booth all by myself, and I'm a little nervous. So shout out to my family that gave me a whole sheet or whole ream of paper to be able to practice on. Thanks, Push. You say that, and like I think they're cute. With the stuff I do, I think it's cute, but I also understand it's not quite like up to the particular quality that's required on this particular set. Oh, and we tried airbrushing. So there's airbrushing, there's glitter tattoos. That one was on Saturday, so that's kind of why it's faded. And like hair things, like the hair feathers and all that. So there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to do. We're gonna be trying probably this guy, the Shakla, and seeing how that goes. Somebody's pew pew pew. But how you guys been? It's been at least a year. Dude, I actually I reread the post that I made back in like May of something of last year talking about like moderate heart problems. Totally forgot that like that's been a problem because like I've had like my heart's been kind of funky for as long as I can remember, really. Like running around and it just like feels like really tight, or it'll just kind of start hurting. I thought it was asthma for the longest time. It might be as well, but there's something going on here. I was at the hospital for an unrelated reason. And when I was walking up there, I felt fire in my chest all the way down my left arm. And so when we got into the actual like ER, they're like, oh, wow, that's not okay. And did an EKG, all this different stuff. Everything seemed all right. To the point where they were like, they kept me almost for a whole, like, I think it was 12 hours or something. And they were going to be releasing me in there at some point. But then someone took me, like, and my whole bed, everything, to, maybe I should do crochet first because I need to focus on this. They took me to the heart ward of the hospital, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" Like, I'm gonna go grab it real quick. like I shouldn't be having, like, if I'm going to be letting go, why am I getting put all the way up in the heart center of the hospital? And they're like, oh, I don't really remember the reasoning, but they left me there, and I was just like rolling with it. Hey, super sidewinder, how you doing? um that's so cool to be back. um but they put me there, and very, very long story short, into reasons I don't really want to get into, but like my heart rate started to go up to like it peaked at 171 while I'm laying in bed, and it just kept going and going, and that scared. I like everybody in the room. There was no. It was just me and my husband. His name's Nicholas, by the way. I might have a picture that I'm okay with sharing. Um, but it was just me and him in there, and then the next thing I know, there's at least 5 other people that were the doctors that came in, and they're swarming around me. They like put these massive like triangle thingies on my chest and on my back, and like my whole body is starting to shake and like going like I can't even replicate it, but like this, and like it was just the freakiest thing. I thought I was dying. I was like, okay, this is the end. Thank God I get to go see him. um, and for a split second, I thought I did. Like for a split second, like everything stopped hurting. Everything stopped, like everything was just peaceful. Everything was quiet. There was no like whatever the doctor was saying finally disappeared, and he was out of my ear, and I was like, finally I can like get some peace. Because they're like telling me to breathe, and they're telling me to do these things, and I'm like, I can't do that. Like, you guys don't get, like, my whole body's like not cooperating, and I'm just gonna give up. Like, I don't know what else to do. Like, it's just not working on me. And they're having me like blow down onto this tube thing, and it's supposed to like, so it's like the bearing down is not re it's activating what's called the vagal nerve, and so it's supposed to like help the heart like calm down and like reset itself. Yeah, it was wild. Wow, we don't really have a lot of recent pictures. Dang. But yeah, so the heart rate finally started to slow down, so they didn't have to shock me, which was good. Oh, and they in the middle of all this too, so they're putting all these things on me, and someone else is putting a new IV into me to like possibly have to drug me with this stuff that would stop my heart and then hope it would start back again. But um the grace of God, I'm pretty sure, is what got my heart to like calm down enough to be able to just keep doing the breathing exercises they were telling me to do. It was like freaky. And since then I've been to a heart doctor, like one of the top ones on the island, and she's like, you're fine. Like there's nothing, like there's no physical problem that she can see with the heart. The cardiac, not the cardiac, the cholesterol is nothing. There's no cholesterol. There's no nothing. She can't figure why my heart would be doing this outside of it's just doing this. Like they even put me on a 14-day heart monitor to like, and like pushing a button whenever I'd feel these problems. Hey, Alize. And it was just, I don't know. So they're like, oh, maybe it's low blood pressure, which it might be, because sometimes the blood pressure machine can't capture my blood pressure, which is strange. But yeah, lots has been going on. So this isn't super accurate to how he looks now, because his hair is a lot longer now. But this is Nicholas. He's so cool. And it's just amazing to have a husband in the first place. I never expected. I kept asking God for a husband for like years and years and years and years. Years. And then he was finally showed me like I was idolizing marriage a lot. I didn't really recognize that. And for like a year I was just focusing on God a lot more and being a part of this community and being like, you know what? If I get a husband, I do, and if I don't, and like not even like about a year, or maybe about a year later, after I decided that I went to go visit somebody that I knew from middle school, and kind of was a bit of a stalker. Not gonna lie, I kind of stalked this guy a little bit to find where he, so I could be like, hey, I love your music, and it's like super cool that you still do that and even exist anymore, because I don't really talk to people outside of my past or from my past very much. And um, he didn't seem interested, and I was like, that's okay. But he has a, oh my goodness, it sounds so. Now I'm realizing it. There was somebody else there that God highlighted to me, and that was Nicholas. And now here we are, got married in September last year. So it's like, whoa, whoa. Oh, it's all God push. That's why I'm still okay, still happy, still kicking. Like, not every day. I'm not gonna lie. Some days I'm like, being alive, being alive. But ultimately, there's always something in there to be grateful for. Even if it's like the shape of a cat. Cat shapes, like the silhouette of a cat shape is just so fascinating to me. It's so cool. And it's very distinct. It's like, that's a cat. Speaking of distinction, you know what? I don't care if I lose my channel. I kind of do, but kind of don't. Because like I wanted to talk about transvestigation. If you guys looked into that, it's a really difficult topic to find on YouTube, because YouTube's like real weird about the kind, like talking about how the biological markers that men and women have to differentiate if they actually are men or women. I just realized you guys can't see what I'm doing. Oh, you guys recognize where I am? I'm back in my house. Well, not my house, but my parents' house. I had this whole idea of like, oh, I will 100% like video stream at my apartment that no. So here we are. Push, part of having an entrance is just fun. You just want to have some fun. There's always something to talk about, and if there's not, there's always something to be grateful for. And that's not all. That's a for always. Odes is stoked that I'm back home. He he has every single one of our family members like worked out to do whatever. Like he gets his food in the morning from Ran, and then he gets a snack and like a little treat from mom, and then he comes to me for his walk, and then he goes out to like the grass area. He's got it made. Like this cat has got it made. It's pretty cool. And I'm also like, I gotta stop promising him some walks sometimes, because he's asking me for a walk today, and I'm like, oh, it's not like, oh, buddy, like I'll give you a walk after I come home today. And then I didn't really think about like I'm having an interview today, and I also have work today, and I might be a bit tired after. But I mean, if you tell someone you're gonna do something, you gotta do it, unless there's like a very good reason. And I didn't have a good enough reason. I wasn't that tired, especially if I'm gonna be going live. Like that's like so not cool to roads. Be like, yeah. Oh, and also he would probably just be like clawing at the door and meowing, be like, let me in. So it was just easier, and it's cool too, because we get to go outside. He gets to get some air. I get to see the stars. We get to sometimes see our neighbors. Probably not it wasn't the greatest time, because there was about 3 people walking their dogs, and he's a cat, so but it's all right. Okay, I've been avoiding long enough. Let's do this. Oh, I smeared it. Boop, boop. Oh, really? What? Yeah, I haven't really kept up with kind of anyone's live streams. The only one that I sometimes catch is Awakened Saints, and I don't even catch it on time most of the time. I have to watch it afterwards. Um, what's been going on with everyone? Like, I've kind of fallen off on my own thing. I remember he talked about going um, on like he was going to retire at some point. Which, if it's because the political things, I can understand why. There's like so much ridiculousness, and I'm just like, why do we even think it's a thing, guys? It's not a thing. Oh wow, this is concerning. I watched my boss fix the lines today, and I was taken aback. She has such smooth, like round lines. Dang, dang. All right, on. Yeah, I've just been kind of out of touch with everyone. And Snowflake, yeah, it is uh quite the medium. It doesn't always work the way I'm hoping it will, or like moves the way I'm not expecting it to move. Kind of throws me off a little bit. The way my boss does it too, she's just so like quick and casual, and I'm like, man, that is impressive. And I'm guessing practice, cause dang. If you've ever done like piping with like for cakes and stuff, I have been told it is very similar to that, which just makes all those like those YouTube videos that like people ice a cake and stuff. It just makes it that much more like wow. Oh my goodness. That's dope, Push. It should like it's just really cool that she goes out and that you're part of it. Like heck yeah, that's so dope. And to answer your question on how long does it last, it depends on where it is and how long you take care of it. I had some on my hand, but it disappeared after about a week. But I also wash my hands kind of excessively. I have some on my feet. I'm not too willing to show. um, but it's been there about 2 weeks now. But I also don't wash my feet the same amount that I wash my hands. So there's that. And also like how long it's left on because it's a paste, yeah. So like um once it dries, it hardens. And I'm actually not entirely sure how you're supposed to take it off because I picked it off as if I was picking off a scab. And I was like, this is cool. Like, wow, it feels like I'm picking off a scab without like actually hurting myself. This is great. Apparently you're not supposed to do that. And I'm like, okay. I'm guessing you're just supposed to wash it off. Yeah, more power to you, I guess. And the longer you leave it on, the darker it gets. And there's also something called jaguar, which is black instead of this brown. Um, Yeah, let's try this guy. I'm not gonna put Eric though. Oh yeah, see, I've been wondering if you're supposed to just let it fall off, Snowflake, but like, does that mean it's like falling off in your bed and stuff? Like that's where I got kind of curious. Where it's like, how does that work? You know what else I've been learning? I've gotten so used to my own style of free forming all the art that I've ever done that trying to copy like what I see kind of thing is new. Most a newer experience. I used to do it a lot when I was really young. Um but times have changed. And I got very like, whatever, I'm going to do my own art, which yeah, but then when you're trying to do this, I was not expecting this though. Nick lost his job back in October, and we've both been looking for work since then. And it wasn't until about January, I think, that I saw this particular. It was on, of all places, man. It was on Craigslist. I saw this person looking for somebody to take over. Well, not take over, but like help them, like be their second in command, I guess, because she's her I'm, I'm so nervous. She's like, "Oh, you'll take over like the whole thing on Saturday, like this Saturday." She wants me to be able to do these airbrushes, these glitter tattoos, this henna stuff, and like the other retail things. The retail stuff, I'm all right doing as far as I can tell, but the airbrush, that was fun, but ooh, that's so different. And then the other thing is like, you guys remember those like hair feathers back in the, like, I want to say 2010s or so? Like she does those and the hair tinsel and uh remember the hair wraps, like you wrap your hair with embroidery thread? So that um oh boy. I'm like okay. Um so that's plenty. That's very plenty. The glitter tattoos I have quite a bit of confidence in. The airbrush not as much, but some. It's really fun. Airbrushing is so dope. Um the like the henna and everything else. Yeah, she's like, "We'll just keep practicing till Saturday." I'm like, "Okay, well, here we are." And I've been having some slight accountability issues. That's actually why I started this channel in the first place. Like I was having some like serious accountability issues of like not not playing video games all day. That was a double negative, but that's okay. Like just being like, oh yeah, I'll be responsible, and like no, it wasn't happening. So uh, I was like, maybe if I think people are watching, then I will do things more, and I did. I don't know if you guys remember, it was like almost every day that I was either posting something or uh, like going live, and part of that too was a kind of an insurance thing. I don't know if I'll get into it tonight, but there's been a lot of research I've been doing, including the Red Shoe Club and oh, it's so gross, and just pedophilia stuff like that in general, and like human hunting, all these different things, and it just kind of got me freaked out a bit because I'm like, I have my own memories of certain things like this. That's disturbing, and like, what if they like I don't know why I was allowed to get away from all of that. You know, like why I wasn't like killed like the rest of everybody else and stuff like that. So I got like super paranoid that someone's going to try to kill me. So the thought process was that if I post a video every day and I make a community and I like grow with all these guys and something happens to me, then people will try to find out what happened to me instead of just being like, you know, lost or something. Kind of kind of a little paranoid now I say that all out loud, but at the same time, they get scared. if you start talking. And that's another thing too, is that like I'm about to make a like, or I was supposed to, I don't really know what happened to this, but I was starting to make a like criminal case against someone. And I was like, if something goes on, I'd like to like essentially have some reassurance that like, you know, they knew it wasn't me committing suicide. I'm not suicidal, by the way. I'm not gonna try to da 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 da. Nah. I got reinvigorated with all that, like, we gotta be alive and like not let the pedophiles win by killing and da da that kind of stuff. Wow, that is the scariest palm tree I've seen in my life. I am so glad that those women passed up. There's a couple of women today that came by and they asked if I could like do the henna tattoos because the boss was doing. Oh, it was so cute. She was doing this like painting class for children, and I was like, well, I can do a few things, or you can wait till she's done. And they were looking at palm trees a lot, and I was like, maybe I could do that. And now I've just done my first palm tree, and I'm very very grateful that they decided to not take my palm treeing. I can do crosses, no problem, but I mean it's like 2 lines. It's pretty chill. Push, I've been told that. And I've also been like, why are we being thought police to our own selves? That is so not. I'm gonna start going that we don't. We gotta come down a little bit. But yeah, I've noticed that trend a lot where we're using like soft words for the hard things to talk about, and I'm wondering if that's because like of like the TikTok stuff and like all that kind of crap bled over here. Plus, if you guys have ever watched or read 1984, you know, so this is all the more reason to fight back on this. And that's where maybe I should start. Well, I had a Rumble account with a different name, and I haven't gone back to it, mostly because I forgot the name. Speaking of, if you guys knew my email account, don't email that email account anymore. I also lost that too. I was not, a lot of stuff happened in that year. A lot of stuff got lost and all that. Yeah, let's just make some flowers. Supposedly, flowers and turtles are like some of the more popular ones. So we'll just do that. They're making us scared to say the bad words or the scary words. We're talking about scary things. As you know, it's all scary stuff. But it's important to talk about. Otherwise, the people that are going through it feel and are totally left in the dark and abandoned. And people that's going through that, it's bad enough they're going through it. And they don't need somebody coming by and being like, oh, but you can't be doing that. And it's like, okay, but I'm still struggling with it. I discovered that a lot in certain Christian churches where they're like, I'm trying to talk to them about like a heavy topic, and I get it to some extent. Like maybe this was too heavy of a thing, but I thought I was going gentle by talking about self-harm instead of other heavy topics, and still getting like, oh yeah, but we just go to God. And I'm like, yeah, I hear you, but I'm not at the time. I'm not strong enough in Him. So what am I supposed to like? This doesn't. It's not actionable for me. Oh, what's up, buddy? Like we went on a walk so that this. Hang on, buddy. What's up? No. Yeah. Okay. Strange cat. How about that? Oh yeah, just not it. Just yeah, like I gotta be like I'm pretty tapped out from today. But if we start talking certain topics, I'll start like throwing verbal hands, and it's been very how to put this, encouraged to me to not be so like ready to throw down. Oh, my hand's really shaky. I like the turtle with the heart. It's cute. All the other ones need some work. That's part of it too. I've never really outside of like doing the live streams with you guys and showing my art teacher back in high school, I have like never really done anything like this. Where it's like not only am I doing art in public, I'm doing art in public on someone that is going to stay on them for like weeks. And maybe that's why I've been so like kind of stressed on this because I'm like, whoa, like it's kind of heavy, like I might be putting way too much thought into it. But you know what I've actually been kind of like concerned, not I don't know what the wording is on this specifically, but I was watching this or I should say rewatching this video about Pizzagate. And if you don't know about it, I would highly recommend getting into looking at it and being serious about it because it is serious and it's so freaking for real. It's not even funny. Um, and if you need help on finding out what that is, there's a not YouTube, excuse me, a website called vigilantcitizen.com. And he has, or she, I don't know who it is, but they have an extensive amount of information, especially on that one. You can only read, I think, like 3 articles for free before they ask for like a yearly subscription, which I understand to some extent. So, but yeah, there's like that kind of stuff. So, like, I forget why I was talking about Pizzagate just now. Oh, because, like, yeah, so there's like watching those again and learning about it again because I tend to like kind of forget that kind of information because it triggers my own stuff. And like the symbols and it's like a triangle spiral and that's really freaking me out because like that's what some of my art has and I'm not intending it to be like that and like what if I'm doing that. All right, Snowflake, good to see yous. Have a good night and thanks for jumping on. I probably wasn't going to stay on long myself because yeah, this freehanding of this henna stuff's actually really stressing me out. And like, oh, this, well, gonna have to do it Saturday. That's part of it too. It's like one thing to do henna, it's another thing to do henna while talking to people as like a retail way. And um, I'm just not very confident that my brain will have the capacity to do all of that and then not say something weird. Because sometimes it says something weird sometimes. Well, okay, I don't think it's weird, but to the mass general public, they're gonna be like, eh, or probably shouldn't talk about how the word map is getting turned into minor attracted persons. And then it's just kind of creepy when you like listen to like Dora the Explorer and stuff like that and then like that particular map song. I'm not singing it, but yeah. And it's just it gets me rethinking everything or maybe overthinking everything. This is kind of a nice flower. But yeah, it's all freehanding push and it's a different challenge, I'll tell you that. What I really liked today was the airbrushing. I've never gotten to try it, but I remember seeing it when I was younger and being like, "Ooh, that'd be fun to try out." And it is. It's like, wow, I can see why some people get really into this medium because, like, depending on the distance, depends on how like concentrated or how um whatever that word is, not diverse, dispersed. There we go. Um, the paint is. It reminds me a lot of spray paint. Speaking of, I have a bunch of really cool graffiti pictures. It's not my graffiti, but like it's everyone else's that's around here, and it's just so dope. And I gotta find a way. I don't remember how I made those slideshow pictures that are on my channel right now. But when I find out a way to do that again, I'll put these up because it's just like it's so cool. And I haven't seen new paint for a little bit. And every time I get to see new paint, I'm like, oh, that's odd. There's this newer person that I've seen out here named Steez. Oh, they live up to that name so well. It is just tight and oh man, it just if I was anywhere else, I would have sat there to watch it. But I really felt like I was calling way too much attention to myself, looking at this place and taking pictures, and I didn't want to like blow it up and have it all get lost. So I didn't stick around and check the other side of the. There was this pool, like an empty pool, and it was so cool. And I'm pretty sure there might have been more paint on the other side, but like I meant, like it's just I didn't want to like call too much attention and have it get buffed over or something. That would suck. So might have to like check on Instagram or something to see if the oh to see if someone posted it of their own or like got a different angle maybe. I haven't been on Instagram forever for that reason. It just took way too much of my time and everything. And it was pretty unhealthy at one point. There was like my husband and I were having a conversation. I don't remember how it ended or began or anything, but it was like, you know what, we should like I'm gonna check how much like you go on Instagram, and then it was I don't remember his numbers, but I remember mine was like 30 something, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a full time, that's almost a full time or a part time job depending on where you live, and that really got me sobered up and be like, I need to get off this thing. So I didn't delete it, but I stopped going on to it. And I guess that's one of the very few like minor bummers, I guess. Maybe I don't get to see the type of graffiti that I used to, but all the more reason to go outside and look for it. Oh, that doesn't look right. Nope. The talent of my boss is so amazing. Like she I watched her take a picture that she had already done from before and a picture online and combine the two together. I was amazed. I was like, wow, how do you? That's some serious talent. And then she did some like completely different custom work. All of it like that day was pretty much all custom. That's what I mean. Like I'm stepping into some huge shoes, and I guess concerned that I won't fill them. Oh my goodness. Real or not for real? Cool. Thanks, Push. Yeah, yeah. Sounds like my parents are home, and I'm not entirely sure if you can hear them through the wall, but I can. So I'm probably gonna close it out for tonight, just for their own privacy. And it actually has been a pretty long day. I got like a very small amount of sleep, and I've been going since like 8 a.m. and it is 8:40 p.m. And that might explain why I'm kind of shaky too, which is probably explaining some of this art. It's kind of it's a little rough. Here, actually, I'll finish this one wave guy and then start winding it down. I've been going back to Soft's channel a little bit, I really missed hearing voices that aren't, um, for lack of a better term, um, indoctrinated. That's not the right wording, but like, you try to talk to people that still believe in certain things, and like it just doesn't go very well, and then it starts feeling kind of alone. So here's tonight's one. Oops. It is improvement. Here's like some of the first stuff I had ever done. So yeah, uh, it's practice. Progress, not perfection, all that good stuff. That flower is hers. This is the first flower she ever showed me, and this is the turtle. And I was like, oh, I'll copy those. I gotcha. Um, kind of, but not quite. Getting there. Oh, okay. Well, if it's just mumbling, I guess a sigh. I just, I don't. I think, and my mom knows I'm going live, but I still like don't want to be like accidentally recording something. Like, oh, remember when I used to? I think I'll put those back on the live streams of the zebra doves, where I would just wake up, turn on the thing, and then have the drawing in the front, and then just go back to bed. That's literally what I did. I'm like, here you go. Um, but then I realized one day that like maybe we can. I've actually not re-listened to them. If there's like you can hear my neighbors sometimes. It's like I definitely could hear the engine one time, but like there's been talking and all that, and I just didn't want to like. It just seems rude. Maybe I'm being overly sensitive or something to like, oh, I don't want to like have you be recorded and not know and be like, yeah, it was just uncomfortable to me. That's probably my own past stuff coming out, because I'm starting to find out that there's some. Ooh, I probably shouldn't do this with the henna on my hands. Um, there's some past stuff that's pretty dark and still needs to be worked through, and I'm actually not sure if I should talk about it. I mean, like I've been told like, and like I've thought of this too, where it's like it would probably be like a super powerful testimony and all these things to be able to talk about all this stuff, but like how do you talk about things that people are like wouldn't even really believe or even want to hear? Like perfect example, at a young adults group I was in, there was this video that we were watching, and it was supposed to, I don't even remember what it was supposed to be about. If I'm going to be for real, I'd have to ask my husband, because I saw that there was like celebrities on the screen, and you were supposed to like watch it, and like the cross in the middle, and then like they're supposed to like blend their faces or some illusion like that. And first of all, hate illusions, not a big fan, big sus. And then secondly, I didn't want to stare at a bunch of. Now, I can't guarantee all of them are, so I'm not going to slander like that. But I didn't want to watch a bunch of people that I have very high suspicions of being very unkind to children, and I shall leave it like that. But when the leader came up and asked me what I thought about the video, because I guess he just wanted to talk about like how like wow, like check out this illusion, it's so cool, and I'm like, I don't like watching pedophiles. Straight up, I just said it to his face. I didn't really know how. That's what I mean. Like I can be very direct, and it makes a lot of like people kind of uncomfortable. But like, I'm not really a big fan of like coddling people when it comes to certain topics, especially topics that probably people need to be. But I'm like, I'm just a little too harsh about it still, and I guess because I have my own like harshness to get past. Um, but yeah, he just kind of like blank stared at me and then moved on to somebody else to talk to, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, I get it, but it's just really isolating. It can be really lonely, so that's why I was like, I'm I know a group of people that know that this is for real. Push, I hear you. And, it just, oh, all the more reason for all of us to ditch this place and go to Rumble. And if you guys could help me with a new name, because my name's different now. I am now Bellin, and I think there's something I can do with that. It's just teaching us to be weird to the point where like I'm trying to talk to somebody about it, and I think I said like dead, yeah, Ian, but it's like and she got mad at me and she's like, no, it's unalive, and I'm like, what kind of 1984 backwards where are we where I can't say certain like English words that have been in the English like for all this time. Hang on. One of the things my husband has been teaching me is to take breaths in between talking. Imagine that. Okay, I had a sheet that I was using to cover the desk. Oh, yeah, I'm just moving. Here's my hand. Exactly, Push. It's totally minimizing everything they go through. It's pushing and it also kind of makes it like okay that it happened. Not that it did, but it just makes it sound not as serious as it actually is. It's super serious. Your sneak peek from of someone's card. Don't let them know. Huh. Well, why didn't you know it? So I'm looking for brown paint. There's every color but brown. How do you make brown paint? I would think like yellow and green, maybe? No, because it's the opposites of the color wheel that make brown, right? Okay, I was half right. So mixing the primary colors or the secondary colors. Like red and yellow make orange, yellow and blue make green, blue and red make purple. So mixing like the orange and the green, which is where my brain was. Or pairs across from each other and the complementary. That's the word. That's the one I was looking for. Complementary. Okay. See, I don't need that much brown. I just realized I don't have the paint palette. Where? Did I leave it in the bathroom? Is this how most of my lives were, where I'm just like leaving because I wasn't ready? But part of it is like, oh, I didn't plan on painting. I was going to do henna and crochet, but my hands are too shaky. Probably from airbrushing and organizing and painting all day. Which is like, wow, what a life. That's so cool. That blue? That's teal. Does teal count? I personally wouldn't, so I guess not. Blue. Ah. Okay, I'm gonna find the thingy. I'm gonna come back. Hi, Oats. Thingy. Hi. Hey, everybody. Ew. There's lots of learning. She still expects me to do it. So lots of practice to do. Okay, I didn't find it yet, but I did find more of the art that I've done. So that was cool. Oh, nope. That's not dry. Is that the only palette that we had? Maybe I could just move on. Hey, Push, remember I was asking about this shirt? Still planning on sending it, but like there's holes. I was gonna try to fix it, and then I realized like, actually, I don't know if you can tell through the. It's like real thin. Nope, that's even that's even more opaque looking. I promise. If you put it up to the light, it's like really thin. And I tried to repair it, and then I realized that the repair is going to be stronger than the mending, and it's actually gonna essentially make it worse. Um, so if you're all right with it, there you go. Cause yeah, it's a lot thinner than I was expecting. But I usually used it as like a top shirt on. Oh man, I really hope I didn't get henna on that. I should probably wash my hands. Okay, wait. Here's this. So where's your friend? Well, if you don't know either. Oh boy. But yeah, if you're still up for it, I was gonna keep it, and then I'm like, it's got naked ladies on it. It's just something about it makes me not like fully naked. Well, let me just show you. Yeah, like that kind. Yeah. And I think there's like actual boobies on here somewhere. Because it's supposed to be like the World War II bomber guys, but like check the wings. Mandela effect stuff. Speaking of, oh dude, so I got to interview at like this Arizona Memorial place, and I got to ask them about Black Tom, and then as I'm talking about it, I realized I haven't thought or even like talked about Black Tom stuff since around the time Brian of the Dose of Reality was still actually making videos. So it was a little I realized that I was a little like not as prepared as I could have been. Because she asked like, "What's the date that happened?" And I'm like, "It was before Pearl Harbor," because that was the whole thing, right? Was that it, like the first attack on U.S. soil was supposedly Pearl Harbor, but then come to find out it's this Black Tom event that happened back with the Germans, bringing in like tons and tons of dynamite into New York and then exploding that dynamite, and a certain amount of people and a dog died. That's what got me, was of course, and that's why we can't go up into the towers torch anymore. And I tried to talk with her a little about that, but I realized that I wasn't quite on par with it. I haven't found the palette. I'm not gonna let that stop me. gonna borrow the lid from my woodworking section. It's already got paint on it, so it's okay. Oh wow, I forgot I did that. What did I do with that? I don't usually use gray. You know, that might have been when I made I made like a pair of fake shackles for Halloween one year. And I made like with paper mache. It was pretty fun. Looking back, it's it's a heck of a choice to tear up your own clothes and soak them in like I forget what it was, and then and then making paper mache like shackles with actual chain that was rusted specifically for the purpose of rusting it. And then wearing that to school for your Halloween costume. Oh, and using like there's this like fake like teeth leaving, like you can like paint your teeth with this paint stuff and then it like makes it look black or like chipped off or something. Lord knows why I wanted that specifically, because now I actually do have chipped and missing teeth, like smooth move, but this doesn't look brown. Maybe I used the wrong like blues and yellows. It's a really nice purple. Kind of reminds me of brown yarn, where you don't really like, okay, me personally at least, in my yarn experiences, I've never really needed brown until I wanted to make like a dog. That looks way more brown on screen. Dude, Brian was so helpful on like learning all these different things, and then he disappeared and his whole channel is gone. I think his like website is still up, which points to the Mandela effect, which is really helpful. But it's just strange. Someone said like on Awakened Saint channel, someone said that he was on with Chris not too long ago. It's pretty odd though. And he was Push, did you watch the final experiment? Because I watched a little bit of it, but I didn't quite like get super deep into it. But my understanding is that it was like kind of like a grift. Like people weren't serious that went on there and they were faking it, and then other people are like, "No, you're faking it." I guess there's like he said, she said, but like Eric Dubé was allowed to like he was invited to go and he didn't go, and then he starts debunking it from a distance. So a lot of people are saying, "Well, you had a chance, and now you're just sitting at a distance talking about it." And I have a hard time with like Dubé and those guys, because like he and a lot of other guys are the reason that I knew about this kind of stuff. But then he also talks about like Jesus isn't real. Very strange. Oh, cool. It's on Odyssey, because I think I was on Rumble and it was pretty mid. But I'll have to check Odyssey. So it was faked. I had a feeling. I didn't really get into it because it happened right in the middle of something that I'm like, I'm just not here for it right now. Oh, that's way more red. But then that means like the David Weiss and all these kind of guys were fakes, which makes me wonder about everybody else that was attached to them too. Like ODD TV, all these other kind of guys, Brian, everybody. I think that's why in scripture it talks about being really careful with who you associate with. No, it makes a lot of sense. That's purple again. I gotta get different lighting or something, because doesn't show up as well as I'd like, but that's alright. I get to even show it in the first place. Pretty cool. That's more maroon. You see the difference? Dang, man. That's like stark. Don't tell my mom. It's gone, Mom. Yeah, it seemed fake from what I could see, but I, again, just wasn't watching it. Maybe we could like have a watch party someday or something. But I'd have to relearn a lot of that. Like, I even had to relearn how to go live today. I was texting my sis like, hang on, I don't remember how to do this. I didn't realize it'd been so long, but it has been. You know what's funny? I remember not trying to make brown when I was really small, and I was trying to make a different color, and I kept making brown over and over and over. And now here I am trying to make brown. It's funny how life goes. All right. Ooh. Loto's fur on here. He is now a piece of this. Unintentionally, no, he's a piece of this. You know, if this henna job ultimately doesn't work out for whatever reason, I'm just grateful to have had the opportunity to have tried not only henna, but airbrushing and all that in the first place. And it's really opened up to like, oh man, I actually do really like this and I want to keep doing this. All right. And now we wait. Maybe wash my hands and then come back. I got all this extra energy. This happens almost every time I go live, where it's like, oh, guys, I'm big tired, da, da, da. And then, like, maybe 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh, I got all this energy. Let's go. And then it's just hours. Not sure where all that comes from. Let's just cover up all the... It's gross. No thanks. I'll be back. I rinsed my hands and then I realized I probably didn't. There we go. I'm gonna have to get black pants. Oh. I can't remember the last time I had black pants. It was like that I liked. I had other black pants I didn't like. Actually, there's one. I think that's what story time. I had a very bad problem with alcohol. Praise the Lord, I have about 2 years sober now. But when I was 20, I snuck some alcohol into, I want to say, like Hawaiian Brian's. I'm not sure where we were, if I'm going to be for real, because at that point, I was already pre-gaming before we left to go to this place. As I said, had an alcohol problem. And I snuck in some alcohol, and very long story short, the night was very bad. But I was wearing black pants, and I couldn't find them the next day, and I just kind of shrugged it off, like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. But then I realized, like, those were, like, I think my work pants at the time. And the boyfriend at the time, he claims he told me, and I actually kind of don't doubt him at this point, that um, like my pants were in the hall in the bag, and several days later, it registered what he said because I was super hungover and really like it was such a bad night. All these like I ruined friendships kind of bad night, and he was like, "Yeah, I told you a few days ago you puked on those pants, and they've been in the hall since." And that's around the time I stopped buying black jeans. And I only just kind of thought about this now. So, all that said, the Lord has been so gracious and very keen on me like getting past a lot of this trauma stuff or something because there's been a lot of that kind of stuff coming up where it's like it was traumatic stuff from before, uh, or it's like reminded me of that, but now we're in a different time and okay. um, like now like are we gonna buy black jeans and be cool about it kind of thing, which yes, and stuff like that. Also, this desk, do you guys remember this like nasty spot that was over here and it had like all this weird and it was just bad and this whole top looked just terrible. um Part of that was because I had a salt lamp. I didn't take good care of it and then it just kind of grew into the wood, which was really cool, like from like a like kind of more scientific-y kind of perspective. I was like, that's dope. But then it ruined the desk. And my mom spent all this time like sanding it down and redoing it. And she even like got this like laminate, different laminate. That's why there's like the gap right here is gone now. And so it's like this smooth, it's clean. It's just, it is like, she worked so well on it. And doing my best to keep that like, you know, as best as possible. So that's why we got the paint cover here. It's partly why I'm not a huge I'll use the desk, but I get a little like, oh, but like I don't want to ruin mom's hard work. And I know that she'd be cool with it and be like, it's just it's made it's there to but at the same time I want to be respectful and be like taking care of the place, you know, as much as possible. So yeah, lots has changed, but it's still kind of the same, just improved. So that's cool. Hey, are we here yet? 1, 2, 3. We get to change colors. Woo! Oh, I did not do that right. Okay, we don't get to change colors just yet. My bad. I agree, Push. It's cool. Maybe it's just a me thing, but I'm like, heck yeah, hard work, easy work too. All the work. It's just good to see people up and doing stuff, taking care of stuff, and just making art stuff. Art is so cool. There we go. And wait. This one. And then we change to green. Green. Question is, which green? I know that's blue. Maybe these greens? Where's that's maybe too bright. Yeah. Huh? Uh, hmm. Yeah, and then that one? Or maybe this one. Wait, are these the same? No, that was a little different. Wait, isn't indigo like a really dark bluey purple and not like extra purple? I thought about this today when I was watching somebody. She's painting the side of her wall, and it's beautiful, and she has a rainbow on there with all 7 colors, proper 7 rainbow, and I saw her purples were different than the purples I use. Okay, indigo's a lot more. I'm getting 2 different like sets over here where it looks like deep purple and then some of them are blue. Is this like that? Oh, what Mandela effect is it that mess with the colors and people argue about what color it is? Is this one of those ones? Also, I'm wondering if it's just like it's just made to have us either it like if the Mandela effect is made so that we either choose to argue or choose to essentially let it go. Like it's dark. Okay, so it's like a fat contrast like this. Okay. Ooh, don't put that on there. Okay, so not these ones. Okay. I'm making push. It's a I don't know if I'm gonna say it right, but it's called a snood, where it's like a hood that like goes over your head. Um, it said to do it 7 rows, and then I was like, oh cool, I can do like 7 colors of the rainbow. And then I realized that you repeat the last row until you want the length you want. So I'm hopefully making it the right like length based off of 3 rows per color to make 21. But we'll find out. Little gecko. I think he's cute. But I'm also biased. I tend to like all of my own art a little bit. Green. To be fair, I think most art that's actually art and not like satanic ritual abuse disguised as art. Like Maria, whatever her face, the one that made the Lady Gaga cake that like they cut into her cakeness on, I think it was like one of her award videos or something. I thank the Lord I can't remember that kind of stuff very well. It's disturbing. You know, Push, I haven't really heard of it either, which is partly why I'm making it. Like, I saw pictures and I'm like, oh, okay. But I haven't ever really tried one on or even really, I think I've even not even seen, I've seen like pictures, but not on in person. So I thought, why not? And then if it doesn't work out, then there's bound to be somebody that wants a rainbow snood. So, and if not, you know, I had fun in the process. Yeah, she's someone that says that it's art, and I'm like, um, I can't see that. Dumping blood onto a child figure in the corner. That's that. No, you're just telling us what you do in private. I think that's because like they have to at some point, right? Like they're like See, it's like I've been told they have to tell us because it's part of their whatever, whatever, and I'm like, yeah, maybe, and also maybe they just like flaunting it and be like, haha, look what we're doing, and guess what? Anybody that sees it is gonna see it, and anybody that doesn't and tries to tell people might not listen, and they might not, but I might not have listened to that. Perfect example. When I was really young, I had a friend named Brittany who, like, God bless her, she was so passionate about animal cruelty that was happening. And so she was like trying to show me these pictures of bunnies that were like burned by like whatever cosmetics or whatever it was. And she was really like advocating for these animals and being like, hey, we can't keep doing animal testing. This is terrible. But I couldn't handle it very well because of my own issues at the time. Plus, it was bunnies, and I think I had a bunny at that time too, so it was just extra hard. Which would you would think would get me to be all that more like, yeah, let's advocate and not do this. But it did the opposite, and it actually scared me away. And around that time, I guess because I wasn't supporting her, because she might have felt so alone on this, that like we just kind of stopped being friends after that. And so I guess that's something to be said about being gentle, with your words and like not shoving it in someone's face. But like at the same time, if they don't get it shoved in their face, some people just won't watch or even care or even, because I remember she showed me that and it just stuck in my head for a while. And I mean, it got to the point where I was vegan for about, let's see, about 7 years or so. I still go for like no animal testing and all that as much as possible. But at this point, like I get a huge blessing of a woman that makes soaps here from Soap Cellar, and she makes all the stuff in house, so I don't really have to like, oh, you're like testing on something, and all their stuff is super legit. Oh man, if I could just like purchase her store smell, and you can for like a few weeks. You can buy like handkerchiefs from her store, and the handkerchiefs are just embedded with this smell, and it's just like top of the line. Oh man, it's just dope smell. And yeah, if we could, it's just a huge because she makes everything in her store too, so it's like a huge mixture of all these different oils and butters and just I'm pretty sure it's love that just is in the air. It's so cool. And unfortunately, because of all the like stuff that's going on, the tariffs or whatever that I thought was done, I thought those were over like last year. I don't keep up with that kind very well, so I guess it's still going because she said that they had to raise their prices to the point where used to be able to get five for $35, which is pretty dope, but now they're all $9 a piece, which is a bit of a steep hike, but it's understandable to some extent. Like those oils aren't cheap, and she uses like actual essential oils and that kind of stuff, which is why it's so healing. Push, do you have access to red lentils? Because they're like brown lentils, but they're like a lot smaller and they're a lot softer. So they cook up way faster, like 15 minutes without soaking versus lentils that take at least 30. They still need to be rinsed, but they cook up faster, and then you can blend them too. So they turn into like a paste, and you can like hide it in the spaghetti sauce and bumps up the protein and all that. Mm. Yeah, we got a blessing of like bulk stores here, so like you can like fill up big containers of like pinto beans or whatever. And because they are like a health store, vegetarian health store, they also got like different like the soy curls and red lentils, stuff like that. Um, and there used to be a website that I would go to, and I can't really recall it anymore because I got kind of lax on the whole like cooking more than lentils and rice and spaghetti. I got very like I'm okay eating the same thing every day, and My husband's not like that, so I had to start getting creative. It is awesome, and it's like this place is it's called Down to Earth, and it's been a like one of those like staple kind of stores for like 100 years or something around here. But they're starting to go the way of Safeway and collecting your phone number and information. And I mean, if you know anything about why they collect it, it's to keep. So they tell us it's to give us discounts on the things that we buy the most. But the only way they know if we buy it the most is by keeping tabs on what we're buying all the time. And I have no doubt that they are selling that information to other places. So that's a bummer. Thankfully, though, they're not at that point where like you can't get the sale thingy unless you use the membership like Safeway does. So they're not there, which I'm super grateful for. But it's just like, oh, you guys, like, it just it's just further reinforcement of the New World Orders coming around. Well, actually, excuse me, not the New World, the One World. Because supposedly we're already in the New World if you like look at the back of our dollar bill and you go into like that particular realm of like cool. Yeah, you know, I should probably start watching Sandy's show a lot more. She's probably talking about things that I'm like I know of, but I'm not as well versed into it. Actually, am I still? I went on this whole. That the time I was with Kaleo, that guy that uh I accidentally put in God's position. Like I put him above God. That's just so don't do that. Don't do that. It's such a bad idea. But anyway, it was my bad. But at that time, he was like, "We need to purge your room of all this demonic influence stuff." And you know, there was some stuff. There was like Harry Potter and all that kind of stuff. But like we went beyond. And then after he like got out of my life, or I got out of his life, however you want to word it, I went through a separate purge where I purged everything that reminded me of him and any of thing of that time. And that wasn't the wisest choice because I got rid of some stuff that wasn't mine to get rid of. And I can't like I gotta like talk to them like, hey, thanks for letting me borrow that book. I threw it away because I thought it was demonic at the time, which isn't. Uh, oh, did she? Oh, because she just got recently got a strike push. That's yeah. That's funny too because I was just on YouTube like scrolling through like what am I how am I supposed to do this live stream thing, and then they're like, hey, you can't live stream if you get a mark for 90 days, and I was like, whoa, you guys are getting. Mm. It reminds me of the police here. So every year, for as long as I can remember, and I've been here about 20 years or so, there has been it doesn't really matter where you are on island. There's always fireworks on New Year's, just the big, you know, like like kind of spooky ones. Um, and I think you even type in like panorama of Oahu or something like that, and like every year you can like see just certain sections going off, especially like Waianae side. I'm like, wow, it's so cool. But they were cracking down super hard last year, this year, whatever you want to call it. And they were like doing heavy arrests and fines. I don't remember exactly what the number of the fines were, but I'm like, that is absurd. But there's because there was a tragedy 2024 of like a bunch of people passing away. Uh, that's about as much I can say on it. As you guys know, I don't really keep up with most current events like that. But supposedly because of that, they got like cracking down on the fireworks hard this year. So outside of right at midnight, and then for like about 20 minutes or so, that was the only fireworks we ever really heard, and that was surprising because I remember I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. It was like there was fireworks from like midnight until maybe 1:30 or 2 in the morning. The entire outside is covered in smoke to the point where I can't see more than like my hands like length away from me. It was kind of spooky. Reminded me of like like this those horror shows where like you walk through and like you can't see through the fog and all that. So in my decisions, I went outside and I was like, wow, this is so cool. I couldn't breathe in my house anyway, so I might as well go outside. It was actually a little easier to breathe out there. YouTube was vague, had no idea what it was. She appealed it and lost. Yeah, it's like they're like that's what I'm getting at. All the policey kind of guys are really cracking down. Even Awakened Saint had a live stream like 2 or 3 live streams ago. He had a I don't know if you know what it is, but a Fez hat on his like thumbnail. And before his live stream even went up, it got cut down, and they like it said that he cut it down. He's like, I'm trying to get on live, and it's telling me it's not, and so it's just weird. Oh, that's sweet. I see, like, I've got mixed feelings on fireworks, but the people that like it, I'm like, okay, like if you guys are chilling, that's cool. I'm gonna be like over here with my earplugs in and watching from a very far distance. Okay, so she had gave me the choice to put it like that or like put it the other way, and I thought like this, so like it is looking at other people, like when people look at it, it's like that, but like maybe I'm overthinking things. I might be overthinking things. Like, oh, I got an upside down cross. I'm like, oh, I'm digging it. I think I should get into airbrushing as like a side thing or something. It reminds me so much of spray paint. Huh. Yeah, it's on the skin. You might be able to do it on the hair, but it's like alcohol based ink. And so what we do is we put a stencil over it, over wherever you want the particular piece to be, and then airbrushing it onto the body, and then pulling off the stencil. It's um it's kind of interesting because like you can watch like as you're using the brush on the skin will like push down a little where the air is pushing down, and so you can like watch as the paint builds on the skin and where it's building on the skin based on the little indent on the skin. But the further away you go, the more like diffuse it gets, but then it's kind of hard to tell where you're aiming, at least for me. It's also the very first time and very first day I ever used an airbrush machine, so there's probably a lot of nuance I'm missing. I wonder if you could do it on the hair, though. I could ask her. The only time I've ever known airbrushing was like with comic artists, and they would use the airbrushing in their uh, work that they would do. It's around the time that like I think it was like teenage years that I was like, I'm gonna be a comic strip artist and I'm gonna do airbrush. Here we are. See, and I kind of remember like airbrushing hair stuff along with the like hair tinsel and the especially the feathers in the hair, like that scene era, early 2000s, I think. I want to say there was like airbrushed hair as well. And then at another point in time, there was like chalk. that you like special chalk to put through the hair. Um, I don't remember when that was though. But it's like kind of late. I'm probably gonna wrap this up. I will not guarantee that I'll start again tomorrow, because I get to have sand therapy tomorrow, which is insightful. It's kind of freaky, but yeah. Maybe I'll do that like as a private stream. Uh, oh, and also, I'm not sure if I'll ever put any of them back on besides the bird tweets, but everything is private. Nothing got deleted. So if for whatever reason, whoever's listening wants to watch my previous videos, let me know and I'll get it to you somehow. And then I'll also well, I'll talk with Nick about this, but making another email account so we can do that again. If Joe, if you're watching this and you ever sent me other emails after our last email correspondence, you'll have to resend them because that email Proton is cool for a lot of reasons. And one of them is that if you don't use your account long enough, it will just nuke your entire account. All of it's gone. All that information, all of it's gone. And like kind of a blessing in a way. Um, but also kind of sucks because then I lost some like really fun emails that I had, or like really like, oh, this is just cool. We have like conversations, but here we are. Choices, actions to the choices. But I'll do my best to at least post something every day, like how I used to. I'm realizing, like, as I'm saying this, I'm like, am I gonna be able to keep to that? The same way, like, oh, I told Odo I'll take him for a walk earlier this morning, and I'm like, yeah, and then like I got to tonight, and I'm like, now I gotta walk him. I remember doing that sometimes though for like the other posts that I'd make, and I'm like trying to scramble and slam it in. There you go. Before midnight, as if like it was a me and God thing. It was just me trying to like have your yes be yes and your no be no, and be for real about what you're saying. Uh, thanks, Push. I really praying Saturday goes well. It's I'm stepping in big shoes. Like here, like check this out. There's before we go. You saw my henna art. I think it's cute. It still needs some work, but you know. Um, but like this is what I'm gonna be stepping into. Is like this kind of stuff. And like she said, if I'm like not in the abilities of to do that yet, then I can like take out whichever pictures. Ooh. Um, but yeah, it's like intense. Whoop. Oh, there's the call. Gotta go. Aloha.